Today, we're looking at this massive silent shift happening right under our noses in how our power is generated, stored, and routed. And it's a shift that's literally rewiring the very foundation of modern technology.
All right, let's get into section 1, reigniting the currents war. To understand exactly where the future of our infrastructure is heading, we have to look at the modern catalyst. We are actively witnessing the reigniting of the historic currents war. The fundamental physics of how we move electricity from point A to point B is suddenly back in question, and it's being entirely driven by the most powerful forces and industries in the modern tech world. Take a look at this. Elon Musk recently reignited this century-old debate by suggesting that direct current, or DC power, could eventually replace alternating current entirely. I mean, that is a staggering claim, but he's pointing out a massive shift in our reality. Our modern energy systems are becoming increasingly, almost overwhelmingly, dominated by solar power, massive battery arrays, electric vehicles, and high-powered computers. It's a bold statement for sure, and it challenges the absolute core of our global power grid.
Moving right along to section 2, Edison, Tesla, and AC's victory. To really grasp why Musk's claim is such a massive deal, we gotta take a step back and look at the original battleground of that era. It was like a heavyweight title fight. In one corner, you had Thomas Edison, fiercely championing direct current, or DC. In a DC system, the electrical current flows constantly in a single, straight direction. And in the exact opposite corner, you had Nikola Tesla advocating for alternating current, or AC, where the electrical current periodically reverses its direction. These were two foundational, deeply incompatible systems going head-to-head to become the absolute global electrical standard for a rapidly industrializing planet.
So why do we live in an AC world today? Well, because AC won the war, and it won it definitively. And the core reason was pure engineering practicality. At the time, AC was just far more practical for transmitting electricity over very long distances. Back in the early days of electrification, generating power at massive plants far away from densely populated cities and then piping it in efficiently, that was the ultimate goal. AC was perfectly suited to help build the sprawling, interconnected, modern power grid that we all just plug into every single day without a second thought.
Which brings us to section 3, why DC is striking back. If AC won the original war so decisively, why on earth is Edison's direct current making this massive, high-tech comeback today? Just look at this sheer scale of the fastest-growing technologies in the world right now. As Musk pointed out, they fundamentally operate on DC. I mean, think about it. Solar panels naturally produce DC electricity when the sun hits them. Those massive utility-scale battery storage farms stabilizing our grid, they only store DC power. The millions of electric vehicles rapidly taking over our roads operate entirely on DC systems. And virtually every single modern computer, smartphone, and electronic device you use, it ultimately has to convert the incoming power from your wall into DC before it can actually use it. We're living in a DC-consuming world that is forcibly plugged into an AC-delivering grid.
But here's the real game changer. The fundamental engineering math has completely changed. Historically, AC's unbeatable advantage was long-distance transmission, right? Well, today, thanks to incredible advances in solid-state power electronics, renewable energy, and battery storage, we now have high-voltage DC transmission. We can actually execute the bulk routing of direct current over vast distances with minimal line loss. Because of this, engineers are actively reconsidering where DC systems offer major advantages, simply because the technological limitations of the 1800s just do not exist today.
Let's look closer at this in section 4, the cost of conversion. This leads us directly to the core engineering friction that's aggressively pushing massive industries away from the traditional AC standard. Let's trace the typical journey of electricity today. Step 1, power travels across the country via our standard AC grid. Step 2, it arrives at your DC-powered device, say a fast charging station for an EV or a massive hyperscale server rack, and it has to be converted from AC to DC. Step 3, and this is the massive issue here, energy is lost during that conversion. Every single time we flip power from AC to DC, we waste valuable energy, usually as heat. In a modern world desperately trying to maximize energy efficiency, these repeated AC to DC conversions are an unacceptable and incredibly costly drain. So how do we stop that conversion energy loss? Massive industries are just bypassing AC wherever they possibly can. Huge, power-hungry AI data centers, sprawling EV charging networks, and massive renewable energy installations are increasingly using pure DC infrastructure.
By keeping the power in DC form, literally from the solar panel straight into the battery and straight into the server or the car, they eliminate those wasteful conversions entirely. And that saves massive amounts of power and money.
Finally, Section 5, the coexisting grid of tomorrow.
This massive shift in how we handle power is really forcing us to look at the big picture. Now, while Elon Musk's prediction is super bold, most experts actually expect AC to remain a critical foundation of the electrical grid for decades to come. We aren't going to just rip out all the high-voltage AC transmission lines across the globe tomorrow. However, the rapidly growing role of renewables, AI infrastructure, and total global electrification is fueling intense interest in a future where AC and DC systems coexist more closely than ever before. We are moving toward a highly optimized hybrid world. Okay, I want to turn this over to you. What are your thoughts on this incredible shift? As we see more solar on roofs, more EVs on the road, and more of these giant AI data centers being built, do you think DC will ultimately conquer AC completely like Musk suggests? Or is this hybrid system going to be the permanent standard? Drop a comment below. I always love reading through your engineering insights and your perspectives on this stuff. And hey, if you found this explainer fascinating and want to keep expanding your knowledge, I've got plenty more for you. For more engineering and tech-focused videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my website, www.ioftakahub.com. We love breaking down the complex systems running our world into structured, visual deep dives just like this one. Keep questioning how the world works, keep learning, and I'll see you in the